7.4 problem 2. A random sample of 360 married couples found that 286 had 2 or more personality preferences in common. In another random sample, I've got too much going on here. I need to write this down. All right, so we have, 2 or more personality preferences in common. What did we have? We had 286 of 360 had 2 or more preferences in common. And then we're told that in a sample of 586, it was found that only 36 had no preferences in common. So how about if I just put 0 or no or something? All right, so it was 36 of what? 586. Now, let P1 be the population proportion of all married couples who have 2 or more. All right, so P1, that will be 2 or more. Okay, that's the population proportion. So that's the population proportion of having 2 or more in common. Trying to keep it all straight. 2 or more. And P2, this will be the population proportion of having no personality. All right, of none. Or just say no. Now we're asked to find a 90% confidence interval for P1 minus P2. Use 3 decimal places. Okay, so let's go to stat. Find stat, over to tests. Now remember, 1 through 6, this is not what we want. Those are actually tests. We want to go down, that says tests. We want to go all the way down through, where do we want to go? We want a 2 proportion Z interval. That looks like B. All right, so scroll all the way down to B, where it says 2 prop Z interval, and choose B. Then when you choose B, this is what comes up. It wants the x1 value and the n1 value. Now our x1 is, okay, we're going to call that, the population 1 is the 2 or more. All right, so that's going to be 286 out of 310. So what we're going to put in here is 286 out of 360, right, 360. Our x2, the 2 is the other population that has 0 or more, and that's going to be 36 out of 586. And our confidence level is 90%, so 0.90 or just 90. Let's get those numbers in. And I got this interval. I'll put it over here on the left. I got 0.69437 up to 0.77166. And what about our rounding? Let's look for rounding. What's it say? Use 3 decimal places. All right, so 3 decimal places. I'm going to put 0.694. All right, so 0.694. So about 69.4% as a lower limit, and upper limit, 3 decimals, 1, 2, 3, all round up to 772. So this will give us 0.772. All right, so this interval is going from what, about 69.4% to about 77.2%. Part B says, explain the meaning of the confidence interval for Part A in the context of this problem. Does the interval contain all positive, all negative, or both positive and negative values? And what does this tell us? Okay, well, what do we have here? We're at 69.4% to 77 point. All right, so these are all positive values. Now, if it's all positive, when you take a difference, right, P1 minus P2, that confidence interval, that tells you if it's all positive, P1 must be bigger than P2. So is that one of our options up here? Here's our options. Because the interval contains both positive, no, it's not positive, both positive. Because the interval contains only positive numbers, we can say that the higher proportion of married couples have 2 or more preferences than none. Yeah, that's, I think, what we want. What this is 2 or more. This is just none. All right. So this must be bigger than this one. So preferences of 2 or more bigger than nothing in common. What was this one? Just be sure. We cannot. Okay. We can make a conclusion. Because contains only negative. No, that's not true. All right. So the only one that makes any sense is this one right here. So I just want to finish this problem by writing out what we've got. We've got 0.694. That's less than P1 minus P2. Not hats. No hats on these, right? No hats, because those are estimates. So these are what we think are the true proportions, which is less than 0.772. Or if you like, 69.4% is less than the proportion of people having 2 or more minus the proportion having none. What is that line? Which is less than 77.2%. Just to get another interpretation, another feeling for what we're doing.